If you build it, doesn't mean that they'll come. How to make your business stand out? Stay tuned. Welcome to the WorkHARDAholic Show with your host, the original WorkHARDAholic, Shirley Crawford, author, speaker, and small business consultant for over 20 years, helping you to work hard, play harder, and business better. Hello, and welcome back to the WorkHARDAholic Show. I am Shirley Crawford, your host, the original WorkHARDAholic, and today, as we're moving further along into the year, there are so many of you that are out there who have started your cookie business, who've started selling items, making things, providing your product or service, and you're wondering, where are the clients? You spent this money, you've invested, you've made room, you've rented space, you've gotten equipment. But here's the thing, you spent all this money, but you're not getting in the clientele, to make the profit. So I want to spend today's show helping you focus on the ways that you can help your business stand out. Okay? So how do we want to start with this? So I want to start off by giving you all 5 tips to make your business stand out. Okay? So first and foremost is to create an to create an effective branding strategy. If you have not analyzed your brand, understand your brand, that's your homework. That's where you start. You don't create a strategy from something that you don't understand. What are your brand colors? What is your brand name? And we're going to come back to ways to help you think about making names in just a moment. What do you represent? What's your mission? What's your vision? Take some time to sit down and really think about those things and then create the plan, okay? And so how do you stand out? How are you different? Then number 2 is you want to develop relationships with reporters. So I've said this before, I'll say it again. In the era where news is happening and being posted 24/7, from everywhere, from Instagram to CNN to, all kinds of news outlets, reporters are looking for the story. They're looking for you, but you got to make yourself a little sexy. Give them a cause. Give them a reason. I have been happily successful in being able to be on some lovely television shows, be featured in papers, magazines, etc. And some of that is just as simple as sending out a press release, making a phone call. I actually know who the business writers are. That's my category. Who the business writers are for the local papers, for our local TV stations, even going a little bit further, some national. That's a relationship. And so people should know that you are the subject matter expert, but how do they know? You have to tell them, show them. If you go back to that branding strategy, you're making sure that people know that you're there, who you are, and what your contribution is, and then you help them find creative ways to do it. So there are a couple ways that you can do that. I mentioned about the press releases, an amazing website that I've talked to you all about before, but in case you haven't gone back and you don't want to dust off to get back to that old information, HARO, Help a Reporter Out, is an entire website that provides articles and information to our concept ideas to places like Oprah Magazine. If you can think about a magazine, they're probably there. Different outlets. I've been contacted or quoted in a variety of places because I responded to a request on HARO. So the way that it works, you sign up, you get an account, and then you search for your subject matter and you'll see a whole listing. So you can say what category that you're most interested in. Is that finances? Is it health? Is it social media? Whatever your area of expertise is, beauty, etc. And then you'll see a listing and it doesn't tell you always who it's for. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. And you can say, and they'll say, hey, we're looking for 5 subject matter experts on this, or we're looking for people to answer their opinion on this, or we're looking for this. And then you respond in an intelligent and professional way by letting them know who you are, what you do, and answer their request. Sometimes they'll quote you and use your information and never tell you a word, which is why I always say that you should make sure you're tracking yourself online. That's another part of the reason why I'm always like, make sure that you know when people are mentioning your name. If you don't remember how, go back and look at our old episodes. We tell you all about that. All right. And so Or they'll even reach out to you and say, hey, we'd like to do a feature. We'd like for you to, be quoted in this. We'd like for you to make a deeper contact. It's an amazing thing, and it costs you nothing but time, okay? Number 3 is a given, I would hope. You should be utilizing social media platforms. So you should be using Instagram, Facebook. I don't want to say it's a blanket of things you have to have, because it really differs per business, per industry. If you're in weddings and you tell me you don't have a Pinterest page, how long are you going to be in business is all that I'm really wondering, okay? But in consulting, I don't use Pinterest a lot. Although there are lots of ways to do so, it's not where I focus my energy, right? But you should be utilizing social media platforms. And on that note, it takes me to number 4, which is leveraging influencers. And I'm going to talk about this a little bit more in just a little bit. But I've mentioned previously about micro-influencers and the other levels of influencers. And it's such an easy way for you to get recognized and be in front of hundreds of thousands of people because you have developed that relationship. Most of the time it's paid. I have been fortunate to actually have contact with others who I'm not charged for. But that's part of when you're doing your work the way that you ought to do your work, someone else is going to notice. But in the meantime, there are lots of ways for you to connect with micro-influencers. And we're going to talk about that after the break, okay? The other way, which is once again, it's so obvious, it's like almost silly to say, participate in local events. Sponsor your local baseball team. Participate in chambers. In our case, one of my favorite organizations is the MBL, the Metropolitan Business League. Participate when school's having events and you can have a table and even if you're not having a table, being present with business cards or having your logo on your clothing or someplace else that you can participate. Donate things in the name of your business. These are all great ways to get started to help your business stand out. So once again, the 5, create an effective branding strategy. Number 2, develop relationships with reporters with software such as HARO. Number 3, utilize social media platforms, and you should be posting at least once a day, if not more. Number 4, leverage influencers. And number 5, participate in local events. More after this commercial break.
Listen, Attorney Alex Taylor is a soldier in a suit, defending anyone with criminal charges, DUIs, and more. Call Alex Taylor, your soldier in a suit, at 804-500-5000.
I'm Alex Taylor. Don't face your criminal charges alone. Put a former prosecutor with 30 years of experience on your side. Let me show you how a soldier fights for your freedom.
Call 804-500-5000 or go to alextaylorlaw.com.
Life can be a struggle. Find hope, healing, and answers at the Abundant Life Church of Christ, a place to encounter God through uplifting worship, singing, prayer, the preach word, and fellowship. One step can change your life. One step could shift your destiny. There has never been a better time to take that step than now. Come be our guest every Sunday at 10 a.m. at the Abundant Life Church of Christ, a place where you belong.
At Richmond Dentistry for Children, Dr. Randy Adams and Dr. Brandon Allen are crazy about your kids and their teeth.
With compassionate care, our professional staff treats your kids like they were our own.
Call us today to make an appointment at 804-780-2888 or check us out on the web at richmonddentistryforchildren.com. Let Richmond Dentistry for Children take care of your kids' teeth today for a healthy tomorrow.
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Okay, so today we're talking about how to help your business stand out. There's a lot of noise, there's a lot of things happening. So one of the things we just talked about, we talked about 5 tips and 5 ways to help your business stand out. And so the first one, we were talking about your branding, and I just want to go a little bit deeper. I just had a meeting with a lovely caterer and their company, and it's amazing what they do. They're great at it. But they're having a question of, what do we call ourselves? And so here's the thing. I am always very concerned with the fact that by nature, we have a habit of creating roadblocks or stumbling blocks. Like we get started and then we're like, oh, I'm so focused on my mission that I won't do anything else until I get the mission done. I wouldn't put that into the wise category. Okay. So one of the things I realized that happens a lot, especially when I'm talking to new clients, is that when we're talking about their branding, they're very obsessed. Excuse me, you all are very obsessed with the name of your business. And I realize it's like naming your baby. Like, how many parents spend the entire 9 months trying to determine, and what will we call our little angel? I hear you. But here's the thing. Excuse me. Here's the thing. You're going to spend a lot of time giving your kids nicknames anyway. Really. Okay. And so here's the thing about your business. For your business, you can register with any name you want as long as it's available. You can go to your state corporation commission, go into the business name and type in whatever you like. And if it's available, I don't care if you call it the XYZ organization, because you can always get a DBA. A DBA is a doing business as or fictitious name certificate. Here in Virginia, it was $10 the last time I had to do one. It's nothing expensive, right? And so here's the thing. I don't want you to get hung up on the details that don't, excuse me if I say, matter. You can always come back and change the name because, frankly, I'll give this little story as I move along. I think about my friend Kimberly. When we were growing up, it was Kim. Then it was like K-Love. And then it was like, and then for some reason, when we got into, I think, our 20s, all of a sudden it was like, no, my name is Kimberly. And so when you grow, your identity changes. Like, you personify yourself in different ways. It's the same for your business. I don't want you to get hung up there. But for those of you who are like, Shirley, that's cute, really, but I need a name and I need to feel good about it. I want to give you all access to some information about free name generators. You're welcome. So if you're thinking about the fact that you have this brand and you want to have the right name and you're not sure exactly what to use, each of these softwares offers free name generator services. So you can go, and most of them are using AI as an option, so that you can go in and figure out, like, this is what I want to be called, right? So the list begins. 1, Shopify. As you can imagine, they fully understand. See, it's a common problem amongst many people. So a lot of these companies are coming up with answers. Shopify has an AI option to help you name that business. Okay. All right. So Shopify is one. Looka. Look at that. Looka is another one that has options for you. Namelix. Namelix is another one. Another option is logo.com. And then one of my favorites, because I use it for so much, is Canva. Okay. So if you're out there, you're trying to develop your brand and you want to represent yourself, but you're just like, I don't want to be called the stupid company or something dull and whatever, then you can utilize one of the free name generators. If you are really feeling adventurous but you're not a graphic designer, you're not the person who creates, there are also options out there to help you create logos. But here's the thing. So we were having a conversation earlier about some logos, Christina and I. And so the problem with using general free logo generators is that you are not the only one using them. And so, like, you can go onto certain websites and you can find a logo, or if you go into Fiverr or Upwork or whatever you're utilizing, if you're buying these ready-made logos, then don't be surprised if you look up and someone else has the exact same one, maybe different colors, slight modifications. That's part of the problem in not having things personalized. But once again, just as I was saying with the name, you can change it later. Now, I love for you to really maximize your logos, maximize your name, and have people identify. But let's be real. How many times have you seen a large corporation change their name, and they have to have a campaign that goes with it? So that's the thing to keep in mind. If you don't find the name that you love so much from the beginning, or find the logo that you love so very much from the beginning, yes, you might have to have a nice marketing campaign a little further down the road as you transition. but it's not the end of the world, people. It's just not. So rather than have you keep holding on to an idea for so long that someone else eventually comes out with it and you're sitting there crying because it should have been you, I want you to keep moving. Get the name, get it legal, get the URL, right? Go ahead and sign up with the SEC for your incorporation. Get your EIN, get your business bank account number, start marketing, get all of the social media platforms with that name. Everything you can think of. Absolutely positively. If you look anywhere for WorkHARDaholics, it should be us there. I'm trying to think, are we not on platforms? If it's anything outside of the major 5, we might not be on it, but you get the idea. And for those of you, once again, who are looking for the free name generator, a way for you to help come up with that name for that amazing business of yours, don't forget you can try Shopify, Looka, Namelix, Logo.com, and Canva, respectively. All right, we'll be right back with more ways to help your business stand out and how to use micro-influencers right after these messages.
At Richmond Dentistry for Children, Dr. Randy Adams and Dr. Brandon Allen are crazy about your kids and their teeth.
With compassionate care, our professional staff treats your kids like they were our own.
Call us today to make an appointment at 804-780-2888 or check us out on the web at richmonddentistryforchildren.com. Let Richmond Dentistry for Children take care of your kids' teeth today for a healthy tomorrow.
Are you only identified as mommy, as the employee, as the worker bee? Well, you know what? It's time for you to be identified as you. There is more to you than your function for others. Come discover it at the Diva Mastermind Retreat. That stands for doing it very authoritatively. It's time for you to find your voice, find your place, and make your mark. Join us October 7th through 11th this year in 2024 in Outer Banks, North Carolina, where we'll help you with mastermind moments. We'll help you with seminars, sessions, and the camaraderie of other boss ladies just like you. Don't forget to join us for the fun. Visit Diva Mastermind at groovepages.com to get your ticket today. Only 3 spots left. We'll see you then.
Listen, attorney Alex Taylor is a soldier in a suit, defending anyone with criminal charges, DUIs, and more. Call Alex Taylor, your soldier in a suit, at 804-500-5000.
I'm Alex Taylor. Don't face your criminal charges alone. Put a former prosecutor with 30 years of experience on your side. Let me show you how a soldier fights for your freedom.
Call 804-500-5000 or go to alextaylorlaw.com.
In honor of the Women's Business Center RVA 5-year anniversary, the countdown is on. Ladies, it's time for the WBC RVA Toolkit. You don't want to miss it. It means every Thursday you co-work not for free, but it's included. So that's co-working every Thursday. Each month there's 1 seminar and 1 group coaching. So all day Thursday you can come hang out here at the Women's Business Center RVA, and it's just $25 a month. Tell them about it, Joanne.
Yes. And a couple of the topics that we will be talking about, discussing and reviewing and going through are starting a business the right way, because we do want to start off the right way. We're also going to talk about a business model canvas and how your company creates value for its customers. Also goal setting, which is very important. Finances, even developing your pitch, also social media distribution and content, and much, much more. So we are excited about seeing you there. So you can register today at WBCRVA.com.
Welcome back again. Okay, so today we've been talking about ways to help your business, your brand, your product, your service stand out amongst all of the noise, right? So we know that there used to be a time where if you were going to reach out to your clients, your customers, etc., then you needed to have like actual physical mail, right? Can you imagine that now? Most of us throw all of our mail away. We have no idea what that was all about. Beyond that, we've gotten to a point where everyone said, okay, you had to have a brick and mortar building. No one believes that you exist. We've gotten past that moment now, people, in case you were curious. And then it was, okay, well, you have to be on social media. You have to have this, you have to have that. But at this point, everyone has that. Everyone, hopefully, everyone has a newsletter. Everyone has a blog potentially. Maybe they've even produced books or products or services or something, but they're still not getting known. They're still not getting noticed. As we always say, if you build it, they will not come. It has nothing to do with them coming. They come when you tell them who you are, where you are, and why they should care, and you make sure to have the call to action to get them connected. So in the midst of this process, we have come up with a few ways to help you really stand out. We talked about our top 5 ways to help you stand out. We talked about refining your name and understanding ways to get a free name generator to help you figure out what should you call yourself if you haven't already, figured that out. And then one of the things we talked about was that social media platform and connecting with influencers. So we talked about influencers before and the benefits and the different types of influencers. So now I really want to dig a little bit deeper to help you figure out how you can connect and find a micro-influencer. Some of these options are perfectly free, but they require some work, right? I need you to know that even as we talk about the show, it's not all about this like get rich quick. It's not all about here's information and you don't have to work for it. This is where you come when you're willing to do the work, but you might not know where to go next. You might need an example of seeing someone else who's been successful doing what you want to do to help you stay motivated in times where everything else is feels like it's crumbling around you. So with that in mind, I want to give you some information. Okay, so one of the first things that you can do, it seems fairly obvious, but maybe you just haven't thought about it. You can search your social media platform of choice. Now, for most of us, we start with the basics. Now, Facebook and Instagram are kind of like the glue that holds everything else together. TikTok is still out there trying to figure out if it's still going to be allowed in the U.S. Pinterest is still very popular depending on what you're utilizing. But in all honesty, there are hundreds of thousands of different social media platforms. All right. LinkedIn is a social media platform, just so you know. So you want to use hashtags or keywords and then you're going to use some filters to really figure out who's the influencer for you. More than likely, you're already following an influencer. And so there's nothing wrong with reaching out to them with your pitch, your proposal, your opportunity to partner. Most of the influencer options are paid. When you get to a certain level in your business and what you do, if you're doing it right, potentially you're going to look up and find out that there's an influencer following you. All right. And so I remember the day that I found out that one of our local senators is following my page. Right. And so those are connections that you can really dig down into. But if you're not at that point yet, which we understand, that's why you're here. All right. You can start by using the hashtag that applies to your business, your industry, your product, your service. So I love to always use the example of skincare because when we talk about influencers, there are a lot of beauty, health, fitness, wellness experts who are out there, right? And so if you're into skincare and that's your hashtag, you can start looking. You can do a hashtag search. I need to make sure you understand those basic things. You can go into your Google. Sorry, I've been hanging out with my mom this weekend. You can go into Google and type in your hashtag and it'll bring up a listing. You can also do that within your social media platforms. When you type in that the hashtag, it'll show you who used it. Sometimes you can figure out who used it first. You can figure out and then you filter through that to see, who has 10,000 followers. A micro-influencer is someone who has a minimum of 10,000 to 50,000, right? And so you can look to see who it is. How do they align with you? You do not want to align yourself with a micro-influencer who is the total opposite of you. I have had opportunities to connect with certain people, but their mission, their values don't line up with mine. And so I say, thank you. I really appreciate you considering me, but I don't think it's the best idea. I don't want you to get so caught up in the numbers that you forget that you have a base that's following you based off of who you say you are and what you're about to do. Okay? So, as I said, first step, create the hashtag, start looking to see who's using it. Perfectly free. It'll take a few minutes. Sit down and really do an analysis. The second thing that you can do is when it comes to the influencers is there are paid services available. I will make mention of that. All right. You can pay to have a listing from someone to connect you with an influencer, or that has a marketing platform of influencers, and you can go through and sort and see, like, does one of them match up with you, what their process is, etc. Those paid services, I'll give you a few. It's up to you to look deeper into that if you so desire. So Gleewee is one. Shopify Collabs has one. Clear with a K, Klear. Stack Influence, are some of the options that you can go on, and you can find a curated list. They also will help you figure out like who the audience is for those micro influencers to see about if that's a good connection for you. They have more details. So you're paying the service to connect you with a potential influencer, who in turn you'll have to pay to actually utilize your information, and you can determine what that relationship looks like. Do you want them to review your product? Do you want them to post your information on their social media platform? Do you want them to, I don't know, come on and say something on your podcast, your show, your whatever? There are lots of different options on what that relationship can look like. And utilizing those services, they help you curate that information to figure out like, oh, hey, here's the way that I can utilize this. Because there's nothing worse than getting a good shout out and then having no game plan on what to do afterwards. I pause there because this is something I will do. I will have been involved or engaged in something that's amazing, and then no one knows a thing about it. Now, I know why I'm that way, but for you who are really trying to build your brand, build your business and stand out, you can't afford to have a major moment or a major accomplishment, a shout out, and then crickets. You have to have a game plan about what you're going to do after you do those things. Okay. You can offer affiliate promo codes. So if you are in conjunction with, if you're making a partnership, I'll tell you now, one of my favorite people is Jessica Stansberry. I have a lot of people that I love, but I like the way she does her promotions, and I like the way she covers her information. And so for some reason, I wanted to have a influencer package with her. I could reach out, get an affiliate code with her, potentially for work that she does or products that she offers, and make that connection. And so that's something you can offer anyone. So if you have an influencer in your life, you can have your own code. You can share it with them, and they receive a percentage. So there are various ways that you can handle this. Okay. As I said, you can have influencers review your products. You can make unboxing videos. I'm not really big on that. Sometimes I get excited when I get a new shipment in or something, or it's a new product or a new material, but it's not really my area. But it's something that's extremely popular to be able to show someone, hey, this is how this is. This is what you can find. This is what you can expect. Doing reviews of those natures, those also help tremendously. If you get a testimonial from an influencer, you can post it on your social media page. I really want to highlight the obvious, though. So yes, you can go out and create a whole new relationship, but I think it really benefits you to look in your own backyard, your own back pocket, and see, who do you already have access to? Who are you already supporting? Who do you already have a relationship with? Who do you follow? So there is I don't know, are you all familiar with the Shade Room? Are you all Shade Room users? There are others like this page, but I point out this page in particular because they frequently do influencer relationships. And so generally speaking, if you're going onto like the Shade Room or one of these other sites, then you're actually sending a message to the owners. You're going to DM them. You're going to get into the comments, and you're just going to say, interested in influencer, relationship, or interested in influencer partnership, or interested in whatever the case may be, product review. And generally speaking, they actually go through that information and will follow up. Now, they get lots and lots of messages, but that's just an example of how you connect. And the other thing to know is that if at first you don't succeed, try again. If you're going to be in business and you're really going to have a product or a service, you can't just sit back and wait for it to all come to you. You have to make it happen. Yes, you have to build it, but then you got to promote it. You have to promote it and connect it. And a great way to do that is to connect with a micro influencer. So the thing for you to know is there's one thing for you to send out a message and you have 5 followers. There's another if you have 1,000 followers. There's another if you can connect with someone else who already has 10,000. I'm just saying. Okay, party people, it's been a pleasure to hang out with you all today. Once again, thank you for being here with our WorkHARDaholic Show. Please continue to like, share, subscribe, repeat, all of those great things. And until next time, as we always say, live better, do better, be better, and happy entrepreneuring. Ta-ta. Like, share, subscribe, repeat. Like, share, subscribe, repeat. 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 Thanks for tuning in to WorkHARDaholics. Support our show by following on YouTube and all major social media platforms at WorkHARDaholic. Until next week, happy entrepreneuring.